Today, we're going to be talking about some tips for negotiating the best deal when buying property in Fortaleza. Hello there, my name is Luciano Oliveira. I am a Brazilian attorney. We're here in Fortaleza, Ceará, and we're going to be talking about some tips for negotiating the best deal when buying property in Fortaleza. Our first tip, and probably the most important one, is for you not to rush yourself. Some foreign citizens, they say, well, I want to buy a property in Fortaleza, but I'm going to be there for just a week. And then they try to cramp every single activity inside a single week. Even if you do some homework prior to traveling to Ceará, 1 week is not enough for you to visit all the properties. Our recommendation is that you spend at least a couple of weeks so you can find the ideal one according to your criteria. Another important tip is not to allow realtors to push you around. Realtors, they are trained by design to be pushy. If they don't buy a property that they are showing to you, guess what? They are not gonna receive any commission. So you're gonna see that realtors, they are gonna email you day and night. They are proud to say, oh, I work the weekends, the evenings, and any time that you need me. Again, if they don't get you to sign a contract, you're gonna sign with someone else and they are not gonna get your commission. Another tip on that front, you don't need to sign an agreement with a realtor. Some realtors, they are gonna present an exclusive agreement, meaning that you cannot buy from other realtors, and this is gonna reduce your pool of properties dramatically. So our recommendation is just tell the realtor, I'm not gonna sign it. If you wanna work with me without an agreement, I'm happy to work with you, but otherwise I'm gonna work with someone else. 9 times out of 10, the realtor is gonna say, you know what? Never mind about the agreement, I'm gonna work with you. So never sign an exclusive agreement. And in addition to that, you are advised to look at the websites. There are about 4 websites in Brazil where the listings are. You can find a link to this website in our description below. And by visiting these websites, you can actually find the properties for you to visit without the need to engage a realtor at an early stage. You may be asking, but listen, these websites are in Portuguese. I am unable to read in Portuguese. Well, the good news is Chrome has the option of translating the content into your native language. You just need to right click on the screen and choose translate it to English, for instance, or any other language. The translation, of course, is not going to be perfect. The translation is going to be machine translation, but the point is you're going to have a very good idea about the listings, and from there, if you want to engage the realtor in charge of the listing, feel free to do so. Another advantage of getting started with the listings is that you know the true price for the property. The vast majority of realtors, they are going to be honest about the price when they are sharing with you. However, we saw already realtors increasing the price, particularly if you're not going by the listing, just because you are a foreign citizen with access to a stronger currency and a higher purchase power. So we don't want you to be that gringo. We want you to pay the same price that Brazilians and other foreign citizens would pay. So make sure, even if you are dealing with a realtor and the realtor suggests another property, tell the realtor to share the original listing with you. This way, you're gonna make sure you are being offered the right price. In terms of negotiation strategies, don't show your cards, even to your realtor. Remember, the higher the price, the more commission the realtor is gonna make. Even if you are set on a specific property, don't show your cards. Tell the realtor, well, maybe I'm interested, maybe I want to make an offer. Try to hide your cards. Never tell the realtor, this is absolutely the only property I want. If you say so, say goodbye to any possibility of getting a discount. Again, if you are hiding your cards, you're just saying, yes, I want to make an offer, but I have other options. If you follow this approach, chances of getting a 5%, a 7%, or even a 10% 10% discount on the asked price, it's gonna increase substantially. Also, sellers will usually say no to anything you ask in a hope that you're just gonna say, you know what, let's proceed anyhow. If the seller says no, don't change your position immediately. Instead, tell the realtor, well, that's unfortunate, they don't want to give me any price break, so let's see other properties. I guarantee as soon as you tell the realtor that, the realtor is going to call the other realtor back and he's going to say, all right, they are changing their mind. Don't you want to talk to the seller and really push them to accept a price break? So in a single sentence, you may trigger all the sequence of events that is going to result in a price reduction. In other words, just because you got a no, it doesn't mean that the seller is not going to change their mind on the following day. It's very common for that to happen, particularly when clients work with us. If the seller says no, we just say, all right, that's unfortunate to the seller because my buyer is a cash buyer. And if your seller is not willing to give us any price break, we're going to just walk away. And then again, chances are seller is going to say, you know what, I changed my mind, I'm going to give you a discount. But usually they are going to test the waters and hold their ground and see if you're going to cave in. Another tip is remembering that not everything is just price. There are the conditions in which the transaction is going to occur. You want to make sure that you have enough time to perform. For instance, they have specific needs when it comes to documents. So you need a timeline that is usually much longer than you would need for a regular Brazilian buyer. Realtors may want to push you to close in 15 days between signing the contract and attending the closing. 15 days is not feasible for foreign citizens, so you should sign a contract with at least 45 days. In addition to that, you're probably going to need a currency exchange bank to help you with the transaction. And if that's the case, you want to have a provision in the contract saying that the seller is going to collaborate with the paperwork required for the currency exchange bank to handle the payment. And if you don't have this provision, maybe the seller is going to become difficult when it comes to time to ask for documents because you never gave them this heads up in the first place. Another important component to negotiate is to have the real estate commission paid towards the end of the transaction. Some people allow the realtor to be paid at signing of the contract, and if that happens, the realtor is not going to be available to help you as much as the realtor would be when the commission is paid at the closing, because realtors, again, they are trained to bring money in. If they are paid at contract signing, you become old business, and chances of you getting help from the realtor after they are paid are reduced dramatically. So make sure realtors are paid only at closing. The other tip is related to this one. That's the same thing for the seller. Remember, you need the seller to sign the transfer deed and attend the closing. So you don't want to pay the seller up front. You want to pay the seller in exchange of the seller signing the transfer deed. It's unbelievable how many contracts we see with the seller saying, oh, you're going to be paying me on this date, and then we have 60 days to handle the closing. What the heck? You're going to pay the seller on the day of the closing only. I would say this is not even a negotiation technique. It's probably more like a common sense thing. But unfortunately, that's pretty common. There are probably 20 or 30 things we look at it when reviewing a property deed, when reviewing the contract, when dealing with a realtor. If you need our help, feel free to schedule a consultation. We may give you like a walkthrough on the entire transaction, answer your questions, and get you prepared to have a safe and successful real estate purchase in Fortaleza and Ceará in general. I hope you like this video and follow us for more tips.